Hello. Social Media Foundations. D. Thanks for hopping on virtually. I never thought I would meet everybody when they're in their homes, in pajamas maybe. You guys motivated me to put on non-sweatpants today, so thanks for that. If you're in sweatpants, that works too. So this is weird, right? Meeting online, not knowing each other in person. My last group had a really interesting ride because we met for 2 weeks, then they had a 2-week spring break, and then we had 2 weeks. So hopefully they got some stuff out of this class, but that was really discombobulated. So at least y'all start online, stay online. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. I do have my office assistant here who will probably be annoying us in and out. So if anyone has animals, already knocking down my husband's laptop, so that's good. His name is Benji, but he does not understand this whole home office thing. So today, we normally do this anyway in class. I just want to get to know you guys a little bit better, even if it is a virtual relationship for the rest of the semester. I hope everyone's okay and doing well and staying safe. The way I normally just start off this first class is everybody sort of going around introducing themselves. So I'll give you a few seconds to sort of think about, well, A, what your name is. If your name is Michael and you go by Mike, just let me know so I can call you by the right name. Then I usually ask you what your favorite social media platform to use is. Followed by, I usually have a PowerPoint too, but I was like, that's kind of weird. We're just going to talk in this virtual world right now. And then please tell me one thing you want to learn from this class or what you hope to learn. And what was our last one, Benji? I usually have like a fun fact option thrown in there. So if you want to give a fun fact, I know not everybody feels the fun facts. I know right now it's not that fun of a time, but if you have one, share that. Oh, and I guess lastly, like, what's your major or intended major? That's a lot. I'm gonna put that in the chat, but pretty much name, favorite platform, what you hope to learn, major, and fun fact. So I'm gonna go on Canvas and randomly select our first victim. Sorry if my email is popping off. So let's start with Lily, if she's on here. Do I say Lily? That was a bad first choice, huh? I guess I'll just go with who I can see. Grace, can you introduce yourself to the class?
I'm Grace. Grace Frankie. My favorite social media platform is I probably use Twitter the most. What I hope to learn in this class, I don't know, whatever it is that I'm here to learn. I'm here to graduate, baby. But I am really intrigued by the fact you said that you did like social media for a New York Times journalist or something. That sounds so cool to me. I read the New York Times every morning, so.
Yeah, I'll go in a little bit about that after we introduce ourselves. But yeah.
Yay! And then my major, strategic communications. Fun fact about me, I'm from Manhattan. I'm a townie.
Cool.
So.
Little Apple.
Yep, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you. Eric, I'm just going to go down the line of who I can see faces right now. Erica, can you introduce yourself to the class?
Yeah, my name's Erica. I think Instagram's probably my favorite platform. I don't really know what I want to learn either.
So hard in this time of the year. Like, I just want to get through this freaking semester at this point.
Yeah, basically. I'm strategic communications, and then a fun fact would be I was born in Italy.
Cool. Where about in Italy? Did you live there at all, or just born there?
So it was Aviano Air Force Base.
Ooh, we had an Air Force brat in our last class too. I won't call you that. I'm married to someone in the military, so don't worry. Cool. Thanks. All right, going down the line. I'm trying to someone email me about not being able to access with the password, so I'm multitasking. But Olivia, take the lead.
Hey, I'm Olivia. My favorite platform is probably either Facebook or Twitter. I'm an old person and a young person all in one. I hope to learn more about campaigns. I really want to be a promotions or music manager when I graduate. So promotion, like the campaigns are really important to me. I'm a journalism and mass comm major with a PR focus and a management focus. And a fun fact is I lived in Germany. I'm an army brat, so I've been to Aviano.
Cool. So we're very international in our perspective. I might recruit you for help then, because this guy I work for has a music project now, and I like use Spotify, but would not say I'm a mastermind of using it on the artist side of things. So I might poke your brain for some music help if that's your shtick.
Yeah.
Sound good? You're like, sure, whatever.
Hey, any experience is experience.
Yes. Well, I'm learning a lot. I didn't even, the back ends of Pandora and Spotify are kind of cool places to be, and how like they make the playlist and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. All right, Brielle, you're up on the chopping block.
Okay. I'm Brielle. My favorite platforms are probably Instagram or Snapchat. I'm not really sure what I hope to learn in this either. I don't really know like all the big aspects of it. My major is journalism and mass communications. And fun fact, I'm in a sorority with Erica. Yes.
Fun. So you can virtually hang out in this class. Something like that. Lots of Zoom hangouts I've had recently.
Yeah.
Zoom is doing well right now. There's one thing to come out of this, besides the bombers, Zoom bombers. I begrudgingly sent the password because I knew that was going to complicate things, but I don't want anyone's butt showing up in our chat. So cool. Allie, I think you just disappeared for a second, so we'll come back to you. Oh, no, you're getting your dog? Is that a dog? I can't.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, dog. What's your
Yeah.
dog's name?
This is Tucker.
Hi, Tucker.
So my name's Allie. My favorite platforms probably Twitter. I like Snapchat too. I don't really know what I hope to learn out of this class either. I don't know much about it. I haven't really read the syllabus yet. I probably should, but and then my major is JMC. And a fun fact, I have 2 dogs. This is one of them. And he's really sweet. So yeah.
Well, I guess hopefully we'll go over the syllabus today. I love your guys' candor. You're like, I don't know. I'm just here to hang out and learn something about social media. Sorry, everyone's emailing about this password. I knew this was going to be a snafu. All right, Lindsay, what's up?
Okay, hi, I'm Lindsay. My favorite platform is probably Instagram. I guess I would hope to learn with that just like how to plan better with like if you're running a more professional like social media or Instagram, just like learning how to like, I don't know, be strategic with it, I guess. My major is strategic communications, so I mean, I would hope I'd learn that, but and I don't really have a fun fact. I can't.
That's okay. You don't have to have a fun fact. Cool. Yeah. So I'm a journalist by trade. That's what I went to school for. I didn't have this great mass comm overlord thing of advertising and strategic comm and journalism. But I try to cater this class. It's going to sometimes feel a little bit like a business marketing class because we talk about customers and consumers and advertising a lot. But I also try to sneak in, like, I work for a journalist as a social media manager. So there is a realm of it all over the board here. So cool. I'll try to appeal to all of your different major interests. Tyler, our first male. What's up?
My name is Tyler. My favorite platform is Twitter, and I do a lot with TikTok. So, but I hope to learn this class. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what I hope to learn. My major is strategic communications, and a fun fact about me, I work for the football team, and I help do all their social media.
Cool. Do you work with Jay and co?
Yeah, Jay's my boss.
He's come to speak to our class a few times, and then remind me the girl's name.
Emily.
She did a really good job with the.
Oh yeah, she's one of my favorite people. She's awesome.
Yeah, and she got that job straight out of
Oh
school.
yeah. Yep.
Cool. I know. I'm like that millennial who downloaded TikTok during the quarantine. My last class was making fun of me for social mediaing and not having it, so I got it. So I kind of get it. I also don't. I'm trying to get my dog to go viral. I think that's the easiest route. The animal videos are the ones that really get me on there. Cool. All right. Savannah, I think you're up. Everyone's like moving around my screen now, of course, but.
No, you're okay. So I'm Savannah. I'm a sophomore, and I just changed my major to strategic communications, so that's exciting. I don't really know what I hope to learn, just kind of like more about social media and stuff, I guess. And my favorite platform is probably like Instagram, and TikTok has been like really fun because you've been so bored. So yeah, that's been good.
Cool. All right, Jaden, we don't need to see you if you don't want to be seen, but can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Jaden. I am a sophomore, and I guess my major is political science, and my favorite platform would be Twitter.
Whoa, political science. How did you find us at MassComm?
I mean, I did some international relations stuff and kind of dabbled, I guess, in the journalism, and I don't know, I just thought I needed some electives and figured this one sounded somewhat interesting, so.
I'm glad I'm somewhat interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
I was a poli-sci minor for about one semester in college, and then I realized I didn't like any of the poli-sci classes, but that's pretty cool. I come from a long line of lawyers that pushed me in that direction, and then I was like, I don't know about that. But I always like the international side of things too. So welcome. All right, Gabe, you're moving around, but do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Gabe. I am a senior in the social sciences major at K-State. And then my favorite platform would be definitely Instagram. Or Twitter has been really fun lately, and TikTok during this quarantine has kept me a little sane. So that's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, TikTok, it was the most downloaded app of 2019, and I feel like it's starting out strong in 2020 just because of the timing of everything.
Definitely. I catch myself like looking at my phone for hours at a time on TikTok.
Yeah, we'll talk about, I mean, it's probably going to be more after this, but we'll talk about the average amount of time spent on each platform and how that helps. But yeah, TikTok is, I do it before I go to bed. It's really bad. But all right, I think I'm like all out of whack. Zoe, are you my last victim?
Yeah. So my favorite platform is probably Instagram or Twitter. And then I guess I hope to learn like what makes people interested in certain topics, or like what makes things trend and stuff. And then my major is journalism and mass communication, and I don't really have a fun fact.
Okay. It's really okay not to be fun right now. I was going to ask you guys all one thing that you're doing to stay positive right now, but I didn't know if we wanted to go that deep on day one. Awesome. Well, did I miss anybody? Anyone hiding? No? Okay. I have like 3 people emailing about the password, so we might have, I think Gabe, you're one of them. You found us.
Yep. I found you guys.
Cool. And Hayden found us. Awesome. Willie's still trying to find us, I think. Anyway, so hopefully I can explain a little bit more about what this class is. Since we're all sort of on our computers anyway, I recommend sort of jumping onto our Canvas just for a quick sec so I could kind of give us a tour of where things are. Since we're online, I know it's really hard to sort of stay organized into what we're supposed to do every single week. So this class normally meets 3 times a week. I've dropped that down to 1 just because I know everyone's schedule is crazy right now. Maybe you have, siblings you need to watch, or I don't know. We're just all kind of out of whack right now. So we'll only be meeting formally once a week. And if you can't make it because of internet or anything like that, just let me know when you can. Similarly, I've tried, so normally I have, sort of things open on Canvas and then they close when they're due. I've tried to keep everything pretty much open. So if you want to get ahead, or if you have internet this day and you don't have it the other day, you can sort of jump in whenever to whatever we're doing. Cautioning there, don't get too far ahead if you didn't do the reading yet or you didn't go through the lecture yet. Probably not the best thing to do that discussion, but just want to keep it as open as possible. And then weekly, I'll probably send you like an announcement in the beginning of the week, just outlining like what to do for that week, just to make it as easy as possible. For this week, we're meeting today, obviously, just chatting and going through the syllabus a little bit and responsibilities. And then the rest of the week, I have under your files on Canvas, if you go to PowerPoints and week 1, there should be a PowerPoint in there called Social Media Vocabulary. There's a PDF version and also a PowerPoint version. The PowerPoint version, I have a lecture downloaded on it. So I'm just going to share my screen. How do I do that again? I'm like an old young person to be doing a social media class. Share, the big green button that says share. All right, so we're on Canvas, we're hanging out. So we would just go to this social media vocabulary PowerPoint and it will load forever, but there's going to be little like audio pictures, like you'll see it on the PowerPoint itself. So when you download this PowerPoint, you'll see these little like pictures right here. So when you click on those, that'll start my voice. So I'll have a little bit of a voiceover. They're right here. So there should be on every slide. If you prefer, you can just sort of read through it, but I think I give a little bit more insight on me talking, get a little more background and deep on things. So if you have trouble downloading anything like this, let me know. And I have some like click here's just to see examples of things that I normally would have pulled up in class. So this is all vocabulary. In the beginning part of it, you're gonna be like, okay, like I know what a bio is. Thank you, lady. But some of it hopefully will be a little bit new. The reason I have all this in one spot for you to start out with is just I just want you to get more comfortable using the right terms of social media, because sometimes people have goals for this class of like being more professional on social media, and that's really step 1 and 2 is to like sound professional, right? So you need to use the lingo of the social media sphere. So I broke it down into part 1 and part 2. So I think it's a lot of information, a lot of words, and normally I spread it out over 2 days of lecture. So I suggest you do the same. Don't just try to power through it. It's gonna like go through one ear and out the other at a certain point. So part 1 would be for Wednesday, and part 2 will be for Friday. And we'll have a quiz next week on this and platforms and audiences, which we'll be meeting in class to talk about. Something to notice here, the second slide, it says food for thought. I just have a little bit of a talking point here about sort of what kids want to be when they grow up nowadays. YouTuber is number 1. I guess TikToker is probably gonna like knock YouTuber off there, but maybe just vlogger in general. But this food for thought, the first kind of assignment for the week, besides from going through the PowerPoint, we're just gonna go under discussions, and I'll outline this in an announcement too, and just go over food for thought. I want you to kind of find a story about social media, somewhat recent within the last year, and a summary about what the article is about and what you think the larger takeaway or effect on society this piece of information holds. I'm not gonna like make you guys log back on a million times and comment on people's work, but if you see something with someone else's post that you think is interesting or you want to comment on or ask a question about, please feel free to do so. This is sort of like our participation points for the week. Normally I open class up with like a what's going on in the world of social media, and I ask you guys there. So this is sort of like the virtual version of doing that. One spot to find social media news, which I've always found really helpful, is Social Media Today. It's a really helpful free website. You shouldn't be ad blocked or paywalled, and it has all these different kinds of stories about social media that you can kind of skim through. I read this pretty much weekly to see what's going on, just because social media, all of its features change so frequently. It's easier to stay on top of it on a site like this. But if you have a site from anywhere else, it's a credible source. Feel free to use that. I know Grace said she likes New York Times. If you have a New York Times article you want to share in there, sounds good. So that's really this week, the vocabulary, PowerPoint, and the discussion board. Any questions on that? Cool. Pretty straightforward. So I have the syllabus pulled up here too. Going into week 2, like I said, we're going to meet a week from today. So next Monday, we're going to go over platforms and audiences. So basically the demographics that use different sorts of social media platforms and how to target certain audiences using social media. Then you'll have your first quiz, which will be on Canvas that Wednesday. We won't be meeting on Zoom. We'll, again, only be meeting once a week. I'm toying with the idea of not sending you this extra work to do, so you might just have quiz 1. I don't want to overload you guys. I know you have a lot of online classes to deal with right now. But that quiz 1 will be on platforms and audiences, and then the vocabulary from this week. And it should be pretty straightforward, multiple choice, multiple choice, true and false sort of things. I know we're online, but you're still in the honor code, so these are closed note quizzes, so please respect that. This Hootsuite assignment, I'll explain it more in my announcements that week, but has anyone heard of Hootsuite? No. So it's a really cool platform that you can schedule posts on. You can kind of find analytics of things. The coolest part about it is if you manage multiple accounts, like let's say I manage Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I can have a bunch of streams on the same page. But what I'm going to have you do, and this is just the K-State Graduate School one that I help run, but if you're a social media manager, everyone will ask you to do free social media work for them everywhere, all the time, just letting you know. But if you go under assignments, the Hootsuite quizzes or Hootsuite assignment is described a little bit more in detail. So you're going to make yourself a free account. This link should take you right to that free account. You're going to add one of your social media accounts. If you don't have any, let me know and I can give you one to add. And then you're kind of just going to go through these questions to kind of guide you. And then all I really want, the end submission of this, is a short 100 to 300 word response discussing, how the interface worked for you, helpful tools that you found along the way, how you think it could be better. And that's really an easy 10 points right there. So you have 2 assignments like this. You have this Hootsuite assignment, and then you have a live tweeting assignment later in the semester. So that would just be due at 11:59 that Friday, April 17th. Everyone with me so far? I know it's like a lot of information, but you have it all here. So you have 2 major, assignments for this class. You have a critical analysis paper, which if we go to the syllabus, it's not due until week 4. It's not due till April 27th. And then you have this mini campaign project. So those are your 2 biggest grades. The critical analysis paper, if you want to know more about it, is again, these are both under assignments. And I sort of outline questions that you should be using to guide your paper. I also have a rubric on there so you can kind of follow along with what types of things you should be including in this. But basically, it's going to be a 4-page paper, but the way I want you to think about it is two 2-page papers. So you're going to pick a brand and you're going to pick an influencer who has some sort of social media presence. You're going to write 2 pages on that brand and 2 pages on that influencer separately. So the question I always get here is, can the influencer be a rep for the brand? Yes, but be careful because I want you to analyze that brand's platform separate from the influencer's platforms. Because I think people fall into the trap of sort of forgetting questions or answers to one or the other. If they, if they use Kylie Cosmetics and Kylie Jenner, you should be looking at their different social media platforms. But you can do something totally random. You can do Nike and I don't know, everyone loves, what's his name? David Dobrik. Yeah, you guys keep me young because I don't know influencer of your guys. And then everyone writes papers about this guy, so now I know way too much about him. Any questions on this paper so far? Again, we'll get there. Like, we have lots of weeks, but all right. As they come, let me know and interrupt me. It's fine. I know it's weird on this online phase of things. So for that critical analysis paper, this first little tell of it next Friday, I just want you to pick your topic. So all I want you to do is tell me the brand and tell me the influencer, and that will be under a discussion board as well. So all you gotta do for that Friday is the Hootsuite assignment and tell me who you're writing the paper about. We're already in week 3. We're just zooming through. So that Monday, we are all about social customer service. We're not meeting that Monday, so we're meeting next Monday, but not the fall. We're meeting the following Wednesday, but hopefully this outlines it, and I'll keep reminding you. But for this Monday, I want you to read the only reading we have for class. It's under files and reading assignments, and it's called Hug Your Haters. It's about 15 pages. It shouldn't be too taxing. It's a pretty light, easy read. But you should read it prior to opening up this pre-recorded social customer service PowerPoint. And then you'll have 2 discussion boards associated to that. So you'll have one that's called Hug Your Haters, where you'll kind of give a reaction to the piece before you listen to the PowerPoint. And then you'll have a second one that we practice using social customer service. Again, don't freak out. We'll keep talking about these things and I'll keep reminding you about what is due when. That Wednesday we'll be meeting on Zoom and we'll talk in person about social media listening and management. You'll tell me your campaign topic. So that second big thing besides the critical analysis paper is your mini campaign project. So this was originally, when we met in person and hung out in person, was a group project. We kind of had to switch that on its head really fast in the last group. And I think it worked out pretty well. So normally it's a presentation where you come up with a whole campaign normally it's 2 weeks, but I've dropped it to 1 week since now it's an individual sort of deal. And so you can pick whatever topic you want here. I give some examples of topics that you can choose from. You can use my reporter dude that I do stuff for. You can do a movie that's coming out, whatever you want to do a week campaign for on social media. So we'll obviously be working towards this. Oh no, we're running out of time. We'll be working towards this the entire semester, so you should feel prepared to do this. But I know some of you guys might be visual people and some of you might just be writer people. So normally it's a presentation, but I'm giving the option to either do a project or to do a paper. So whatever your vibe is, I think the project is, if you like to present, then that'll be great. And if you just want to write a paper, that's fine too. But you'll be looking and answering the same sort of questions to craft your campaign. And by the time you get to this, we should have a lot of things that you've learned in order to make this campaign. Any questions on anything that I'm zooming through? Okay, I'm zooming through because Zoom only gives us 40 minutes instead of 50 minutes. So from there, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You'll have another quiz. Normally this class has 3 quizzes, but I've dropped 1. So you have that going for you. And that will be on customer service and social media listening. Then we'll go into a little bit of content development, which you'll go on to your own and have a discussion board to practice with. This live tweeting assignment number 2, that's your second 10-point assignment separate from Hootsuite. We'll just be doing a live tweet exercise, and we'll talk about that closer too. and that critical analysis paper will be due that night. All of these things that are due are going to be due at like 11:59 that night, so you should have the whole day to work on them, and everything should be open. That Friday I've sort of left open for you to work on your final project or paper, so you don't have anything responsible for me. And we'll be meeting again on that Wednesday. So we meet next Monday and then the 2 Wednesdays after that. Final week, when we get there and the semester's done and y'all are graduating, hopefully, we have a guest speaker. Her name is Honestly Kate. She's a micro influencer who I'm sort of friends with. We went to college together. We've become friends ever since she started speaking in my classes because it's really nice of her to do. She is a full-time influencer. It's her job. She lives in New York City. She is a fashion and beauty blogger type, but she also works with St. Jude's and some philanthropies. She goes to Fashion Week every year. Really cool life. And she's a great speaker because she kind of gives us the other side of social media business, you know, when it's your full-time job. So I can kind of give you the social media manager's perspective, but if you look at my profiles, I am no influencer. I spend too much time doing other people's social media for them than to do my own. So she gives a cool perspective, and we'll meet with her on Zoom, which should be fun. And yeah, then we kind of get to the last week. You'll have your final project and paper, and then you will move on with the semester, and hopefully by then maybe we're at a better place with the COVID situation. Any questions I can address while we're on this talk? Well, as they come up, definitely feel free on the syllabus. I have my phone number and my email at the top, so text me, email me if anything comes up. Don't have office hours, but if you want to meet privately or talk on the phone, we can set that up as well if there's anything questions. For those of you wondering what the heck this class is about, I have a nice course description on top, but basically it's sort of this transition from using social media in your personal life to this business and industry life, and to provide sort of a foundational knowledge of how you can use social media management in this way. And that's what we're going to touch on. I guess I sort of skipped the introduction of myself because I wanted to get through the syllabus, but as Grace touched on, the reason they trust me with this class, I'm a graduate student graduating this year with my master's, but I run this guy, Ian Urbina's social medias. I'm his social media manager of sorts. So all of his tweets are me writing them. All of his visuals are me and this other girl, Rafa, who's from Brazil, who lives in DC. So it's all remote work. She makes a lot of these really cool visuals. He came out with this book called The Outlaw Ocean, which was all about reporting on the high seas. I was actually his intern at the time when the news stories came out, and I've sort of just stayed with him here and there, working on the side, doing whatever hourly work he wanted, and now I'll be joining him full-time after my master's, and I've sort of been working full-time anyway. But he also came out with this music project based on the book where he works with all these different artists from around the world, over 200 artists from 50 different countries, and they actually made music based off of his reporting. So he collected all of these reporting sounds and gave them to the artists, and they made really cool electronic and all across the board types of music with it. So that's sort of where I'm at right now with him. His book was bought by Leo DiCaprio and Netflix, and it'll be turning into a docu-series. Supposed to be later this year, but some of his reporting trips have been now canceled because of the COVID situation, so that'll probably be pushed back. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Netflix will be making a fictional movie based off the book as well in the next couple of years with Leo DiCaprio. So no, I have not been able to talk to Leo DiCaprio, but maybe one day. So that's sort of why I'm qualified to do this thing. My platform, that's my favorite, is definitely Instagram. I'm a visual person. TikTok, I'm sorry, it's still not my favorite, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit more than I did before quarantine. My fun fact is I went skydiving in Australia when I was in undergrad. studying abroad, and my first parachute didn't open, but my second one did. So that was good times about that. That's like my cheap, always fun fact. The one time I almost died skydiving in Australia. But that's pretty much my spiel. You can call me Holly. You don't need to call me Professor or Mrs. Speck. That makes me feel like my mom. So just call me Holly. That's fine. Because I'm not a professor in the sense of that. Any other questions, comments, life advice, recipes you want to share? Okay. Hopefully in the coming weeks there'll be less me babbling and you guys also talking. Most of your participation and attendance and that kind of points, which is a part of the syllabus, those will come from your participation on the discussion boards and things like that, because I know it's harder to participate in this online setting. So just make sure you keep up with those assignments. One thing I did forget to share, which I'm going to share really quick in our last 2 minutes together, we do have a class Instagram where I post updates to, what's due the next day. In my stories, I put sort of fun facts that I find along the way that relate to social media. If you want to follow it, look how many followers we have. This is from people not unfollowing from my last 2 sections. It's called Social Media Foundations. I also have 5 challenges that I post on here and under discussions. They are little activities that are worth 1 point of extra credit. By the end of the semester, they'll be given out weekly. By the end of the semester, you can have up to 4 points that you can use towards your lowest quiz grade. So I'll post them on this platform and also under discussion board if you don't want to follow the Instagram account. And you'll just submit your entries for those via DM. So Social Media Foundations, I'll put that in my note. I don't know how much less than a minute is. I think we're wrapping up. But if you have questions, comments, concerns, email me, text me. This week is vocab and that food for thought discussion, and that will guide you through the week. But it was nice meeting everybody. Sort of nice to have some sort of social interaction for your day, right? A little bit of normalcy. All right, you guys are all free to go. Might cut us out soon anyway. But I look forward to seeing your food for thoughts, and we'll meet again this time next week. So let me know if that becomes an issue. But I'm excited to have y'all. Sorry, it's virtual. See you later.